welcome. I decided to go ahead and do a different mod this time around. I decided to play Kaiserreich and give it a try, and I plan on doing it in the Name of the Tsar as another playthrough too. But I would also like to do just play an old Hearts of Iron 4 and play as possibly Germany or maybe the Soviet Union, one of those countries. Anyways, getting back into it, pretty much getting back into it. I want to go ahead and try out Germany. I did a little bit of research and background on Germany. I believe pretty much it was Germany. What if Germany won World War One? And it sets the story up for Germany being this superpower, I guess, in a way, especially a military power for sure. And so, anyways, basically, Europe has changed, as you can tell. The Russian Empire is not really there; it's fallen apart, and now you have the Russian Republic. You have Ukraine, Poland, Lithuania, the Baltic, Austria, Hungary. That empire has pretty much broken up because Hungary is its own entity. You have Illyria, and then France there's no longer the Republic of France. It seems like you have the Commune of France and Britain. So I did a little bit of lore research into it, going into it, and I see the French Republic's pretty much in exile in North Africa. So that's interesting, and it looks like Germany also has colonies in Central and West Africa. I guess you could say down here too. So wow, Hermann Goering is leading Middle Africa. So they're pretty much a colony, and then there's German East Africa, or German East Asia. Correction. So we have military units spread throughout the world, and right now into it. So I'm gonna see what to select. I see the history is pretty interesting. There's the Imperial Restructuring, Aftermath of Black Monday, State of the Economy, Military Expansion, and Finnish 1934 Naval Plan. So I'm down for military expansion. We're gonna go with that. Give the Army experience, Navy, Air Force, for sure. Production, how are we doing? Have fighter, towed artillery, infantry equipment like tank. So yeah, it seems like the aftermath of World War One, with Germany being on top. Let's see if we have any allies. It seems like we have a few. Like, of course, they're gonna be friendly because we granted them their independence. Let's see. The Celion is part of the German Empire, so we have troops down there. We have troops here. You have this area. So the German Empire is like pretty much spread throughout the world for the most part. A good part of, or good specifically on different continents, I should say. So yeah, there's that, and we're just gonna kind of organize the armed forces, or at least our army. Alright, so I've put in two separate army groups, one for Western Theater and the other for the East, just in case. Let's see. Research. Sure, why don't we go for MG? Let's see. Any stuff in engineering? We can go for the radio, that would be of help. Yeah, we go for basic machine tools. That's going to be essential. And last one is construction. So that's done. I wonder what our navy is. Right now we have probably one of the largest armies, sitting at 685,000 troops. The Air Force is around 13,000. The Navy 269,000. I wonder how many ships are in the Navy. Let's see. So we have 4 aircraft carriers, 3 dreadnoughts, 13 armored cruisers, 23 battleships, 4 cruisers, 18 escort cruisers, 184 destroyers, wow, and 105 submarines. So it's a pretty big fleet for sure. Yeah, it's definitely big. I would say I don't think anybody else has a fleet. I want to check. I want to check Great Britain or the Commune of Britain or Union of Britain. They have 190 to 414 ships. So, and currently 447 aircraft and 354 ships, 20 ports, and we have a manpower pool of 259,000. I wonder if you could change the recruitment on here. If you could, yeah, the conscription. Yep. So let's just go ahead and unpause it and play a little bit. Oh, it says the Constitution of the German Kaiserreich. After the crushing defeat of the Second French Empire by forces of the North German Federation, a constitution was signed in 1871 by representatives of the Federation and 4 other states in southern Germany. The new constitutional framework integrated the southern states into the Prussian-led federation, thus giving the enlarged entity a new identity as the Deutsches Reich. According to the Constitution, the empire is a federation of 25 German states. Title of I don't even know how to say it because I don't speak German. But or federation president was held by the King of Prussia, a figure now invested with the title of Emperor of Germany. The emperor directly appoints the chancellor, the head of the government, and the chairman of the Bundesrat. I'm probably butchering that, but the Council of Representatives of the German states. Laws are enacted by both Bundesrat and the Reichstag, the lower house imperial diet, elected by male Germans above the age of 25 years. With an option to dissolve the Reichstag on a whim, it is clear that the main political power in the German Empire actually rests not in the Reichstag, elected by the people, but in the hands of the non-elected German emperor. Another issue is the Prussian 3-class voting system, which has remained mostly unchanged since 1849, over 6 years after the founding of the Kaiserreich. The liberals and the social democrats are growing increasingly disgruntled with the status quo of our constitution. May need revision soon to help us weather the upcoming turbulence. A constitution guarantees stability, at least. So, yep, it seems like giving us a little bit of background on the German Empire and what it is about, which is cool. I believe German unification, and when they meant southern Germany, like pretty much Bavaria, this area, after the Franco-Prussian War, pretty much solidified the German Empire. The Franco-Prussian War was against France, and pretty much the German army had marched through pretty much part of northern France. The Battle of Sedan was a key battle for for both sides, the German and the French, but it allowed the Germans to solidify their victory over France after that battle, which they won. And it's a very crucial battle. I highly recommend reading up on it and taking a look at it. I'm actually reading some books on on German military history, and if you guys want to know which books that I'm reading, and you comment down below, I'd be more than happy to share that with you. But anyways, let's go into decisions. They solidify control, assume control of the East Asian Navy, assume control of the Middle African Navy. So let's do both. Assassination of President Kerensky. Kerensky has been shot and killed while on the way to the Senate. The assailant was taken down by the police, but the goals and intentions of the attacker are unknown. Despite his massive unpopularity among the Russian people due to botched land reform and ineffective rule, Kerensky was nevertheless able to hold the country together for years, and his death has thrown Russia into chaos. The senators are already discussing the possible replacement to Kerensky. New coalitions are being formed between both the left and the right, while military men like Van Grell and Kornilov are just one step away from intervening to dissolve democracy to save Mother Russia. Interesting. I wonder who Van Grell and Kornilov is. Alright, how barbaric. So that's being done. Be interesting to see what's gonna happen in Russia. Well, if he's assassinated, why is his portrait still there? But let's see. Yeah, 54 to 119 divisions. Voting rights in the Legation Council. Legation cities were formed in 1928 as a result of the Americans intervening in the Japanese-Chinese conflict. It was going to spill out into open war between ourselves and the Japanese. When a passenger... Hold on. Austria seeks unity with Germany. I'm getting like back-to-back events, but it says today Austrian government has officially asked to become part of our Germany seeking protection from both external and internal threats. This might be the perfect occasion to achieve greater Germany, with some argue worth it not the risk. Yeah, sure, we'll take them. Alright. We just increased our manpower, and our navies just got a little bit bigger. Anyways, getting back to this, when a passenger train was not attacked by Chinese warlords, America saw the opportunity to mediate, not only in order to create a more permanent solution to the instability in the East, but to enshrine the open door policy in China, which allows all powers equal access to Chinese markets, consisting of official concessions in China as well as a 30-mile neutral zone. The legation cities, officially known as the International Mandate for Chinese Concessions, also hosts a form of legation council for the various powers with Chinese interests to resolve disputes and work together. As the foremost European power in the East, we naturally are able to vote on the council and further our Eastern agenda. How exciting. So look at that. Austria is now a part of basically Deutschland. So kind of expanded our territory a little bit. Very dim. It says authoritarian democracy is an ideology that combines strong executive power with the representative parliament and partial democratic political system. Authoritarian democratic regimes take a conservative stance on issues and promote liberal capitalist economics with limited state intervention. The Czech offer. Oh, an envoy from the Czech has arrived in Berlin today to discuss prospects of joining the Reichspakt. Should we let them in, or do we not need them? Let's just let them in. So now they're an ally of ours. And let's see. I know there's got to be a faction thing. So yeah, this is members of the Reich Pact, Belgium, Czech. Unfortunately, Poland, but we'll deal with them later. Pretty much the Baltic states and Ukraine. And of course, we have Middle Africa and pretty much the East Asian colony, which is modern day Vietnam. So there's that, and there's the Third International. There's the Entente, which looks to be like Britain's remaining colonies, the French Republic, Canada. America is not part of it, but that's because Kazakhstan reunification, West Russia reunification. There's West Siberia reunification. Oh, it says acquire, integrate territories. We'll train a couple units just in case. I'm hoping our manpower can get bigger and we can get a larger pool soon enough. And it says low manpower already. Alright, let's keep playing. The Hungarian offer. An envoy from Hungary has arrived in Berlin to discuss the prospects of joining the Reich Pact. Should we let them in? Do we not? Let's let them in. We're gonna need allies. We're definitely gonna need allies. So we got the Czech, Hungary. Austria is now a part of our empire. So we're doing all right. We're doing all right. Got 2 more decisions. I'm trying to see where. Oh, we can invade Denmark. But you have to be at war with Norway and Sweden. Or the Union of Britain. But I'm kind of curious. I want to see the tech tree and that. And who's on our staff? Who do we need to add as the Navy? Base control and direct approach. Decisive doctrine. Might go for that. Oh, Czechia joins Middle Europa. The delegation and Hungary joins Middle Europa. Okay. So that's good. There's Modern Art of War, which is research bonus for Grand Battle Plan, and then there's New Doctrine, which is for mobile warfare. Oh, you can destroy the Commune of France. Wow. You can heal Donets's ward or raider. What is an indirect approach with submarine defense? I'm gonna listen to. I don't know how to say it. Is it raider? I guess we'll have to go with that. I mean, I'm definitely digging the focus tree, but let's see. State of the economy. There's Krupp Steel, reserve contracts, experimental research. It's definitely in depth. with totalism as a play on totalitarian socialism, which has been eagerly accepted by Mosley, who added it to the manifesto name attributed to the total commitment of socialism. But anyways, we're going to continue playing, and let's select another national focus. We'll select something like, I guess, reactivate the Ludendorff line. Oh, we don't meet the requirements. Oh, we have to be at 40% world tension. What about this one? We can go for that. We'll go with modern art of war. I think it says this. There is one that every man wants to read. Becoming an officer of the army of the Reich must read. Wait, it says there is one book that every man who wants to become an officer in the Reich, in the army of the Reich must read. Clausewitz, The Art of War. If we put our best military theorists on the subject, we can adapt the still applicable principles with the centuries-old book of requirements of modern warfare. You also get research runs for Grand Battle Plan Doctrine, which is something I might try. I know last time I tried Deep Battle with the Soviet Union. But let's see. King Edward the Eighth, I believe, is crowned King of Great Britain. George V, the last King of Great Britain and Ireland, have ruled. The Home Isles himself has passed while in exile in Canada, the first Windsor King. His reign shall be remembered with sorrow and sadness, as during Britain lost both Britain lost both the Weltkrieg and its homeland. The crown was inherited by Edward, Prince of Wales, who is now styles himself as Edward the Eighth. So now he is crowned king. Let's see. Yep, he's in charge. Payment of Brest-Litovsk reparations. With the stagnation of our economy worsening conditions of our citizens during 1935, our government has decided to restart our economy, which we need additional cash, which is available option to amass the sufficient capital to help our economy was to force the Russian state to prematurely repay the amount of reparations from the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk. Interesting. I want to see what generals they have. Oh, you have Manstein, Guderian. I mean, there's a lot of generals. There is Mackinson, Field Marshal. Yeah, they have a lot of generals for sure. They give you his biography too. The oldest German in the Imperial German Army, the last Hussar. I haven't really heard much of him, but I'm sure he's probably an interesting figure to look at. Yeah, Bach, Kleist. They all can just command 24 divisions. Okay. Afghanistan declares war on the Dominion of India. Yeah, Black Monday. The stock exchange stopped sinking. It plummeted. It took into the night the teleprinters what become known as black money. The results of an analyzed clear the situation only got worse. The shock of unprecedented economic catastrophe has no doubt felt over the entire world. The German golden age has ended, for now at least. Well, that's unfortunate. And it says the Commune France shows its true face. The Reds are set to spread their poison, have demonstrably shown during the last session of the elections. We must be prepared for anything. We must be ready. Yes, we must be ready is right. I mean, they're just stacking troops on the border. But numbers don't mean everything in war. Although it's good to have a good force, highly trained force. But let's see. We're supposed to be the most powerful military on the planet, I would think, as far as I remember reading up on it. But let's see. What does France have? 68 to 115 ships, 19 to 67 divisions. Let's see how many we have. We have around 80. Okay. Well, we'll work with what we got. I am concerned about Russia. I know I have a bunch of buffer states right here. You know, Ukraine, Midland, Lithuania, the Baltic Duchy. That's going to be helpful, and I believe they're part of my faction. But we'll need their help. At least we have Czech and Hungary have joined us in our faction, and I wonder if we can call like places like Middle Africa. Not that they have a whole lot of divisions to arms and deal with them. We have like one division. I didn't think about this. We have one division in Casablanca. So we have units just spread all over the world. There's some right here. There's naval units right there. I mean, it's definitely on in Europe and Asia for sure. At least we have like forces stationed throughout the world, because that way I guess we can react or help out allies. It'll make it easier for somebody who's playing the game. I guess if something's going on in Africa or Asia, I guess there's those regions for sure. Our stability is at negative 20%, so that's concerning. But our party popularity is at 42%. Electoral gridlock in France. This reads like a light novel for sure. The Commune of France is the world's leading syndicalist nation, unite as a federation of city communes directed by the Committee of de Salut Publique, the chief executive. Ever since its inception, however, the second commune was not uniform in its policies. Numerous factions arose with their own idea of which path France should take. As the time for revenge against Germany and the World Revolution closes in, the CGT election of 1936 is said to be very important. It was so important, in fact, that none of the four factions could acquire a majority. Much like before the election, a coalition must be found. And how will this change the shape of commune politics? Only the men in the CSP itself know. So France's government starting to form some kind of coalition. Crisis. You can close the banks temporarily. You can guarantee the holdings of private individuals, or you can do nothing. I guess close the banks temporarily. You don't want our country to collapse, even though I just lost a majority of my political power, but I'll get it back. I forgot this was the same time period as the Great Depression, so it's affecting the whole. I would think it would be affecting the whole world, but Germany is, since at the center of it, will probably detrimental. Poland declares the republic after several high-profile terror attacks in Poland. Near total collapse of their economy, a large group of high-ranking Polish officials have released a statement declaring the creation of a new Polish republic. Huh. Is the old order fading? Yes. Oh. The situation has improved the days following Black Monday, which was the start of what became known as Black Week. Panic selling of stocks reached an all-time high as people tried dumping their stocks before they became worthless. When the Berlin stock market closed at the end of the week, the market was as dead as 11 major economic experts and top executives in Germany that had committed suicides. The German government had to act. It must reform the economy. Oh wow! It says Middle Africa administration buys DCAB shares. The Deutsches Kaiser. I can't pronounce that. Let's just go with DKAEB. Railway was established in the early 20th century, linked to Addis Ababa in Ethiopia, which is also the capital of Ethiopia. That's interesting. To Djibouti. After seeing a German-backed expansions, it is now mainly to transport ore from the Congo Basin and Middle Africa to Djibouti. The present economic downturn in the world has meant that ore is no longer being purchased at the rate it once was, result in the fewer transports for the administration. In order to prevent the Ethiopian state from obtaining control of the administration and losing valuable trade link, the Middle African state has bought many shares in the railroad to provide state backing for the beleaguered company. It says demand they sell shares to Ethiopian, or they should have not acted. We can't even afford this one. I'll just go with that. Oh well, Hermann Goering. I mean, you just have to deal with it. The Polish monopolies crashed. In the wake of Black Monday, some of the corporate interests in Poland have gone bankrupt. We now have received that the Polish government, ever irate as our economic interests in the country have moved to seize our corporate assets in their country, effectively remove control over the economy. This is a disaster. We won't forget this. Poland, we're going to have to deal with you next. Now you're coming after the country's assets. Nanjing Clique. Marshall Rubacks and Green. Oh wow, so stuff's going on in, it seems like, China, or what's really the warring states of China. Okay, so it says following the death of the League's Marshal Sun Fang, we hope that our ally in Beijing, Wu, would remain loyal to our interests. It seems, however, that he has taken this moment to turn on us and take a publicity anti-concession stance. We're just losing hella political power. Yeah, the chips start to fall. So I believe this is where all the stuff's going on at. Afghanistan's starting to carve up the dominion of India, or part of it. Japanese troops garrison in Tianjin, worried to say the least. Matter of fact, yeah, the Japanese are going to be another anomaly too. They're allied with Transmura, which I've heard is an interesting country to play as. So it seems one conflict's over. They have 29 to 87 divisions. What's their navy? 189 to 245 ships. Golly, they have a large manpower pool. 1.3 million to 2.47 million. We don't even have that. I wonder why. I guess because it's burnout from the war, I guess. But I need to read up more on Japan and what they did. What they did during World War One, or what's known as the Weltkrieg. We got more countries declaring war on each other. We don't have a lot of aircraft. Halberstadt terror. With the devastating economic situation, many families struggle to earn their daily bread, and Social Security Social Security net, is strained to the breaking point. In recent weeks, the streets of many German cities have been increasingly terrorized by gangs of teenagers. So vandalism is breaking out, and we're losing stability. Well, you don't have a whole lot of aircraft. We should produce some. We don't have any fighter aircraft being produced. Alright. Almost done with that, and we have reparations on there. The restoration of democracy in Australasia under the authoritarian rule of Governor General William Birdwood since the British invocation of the emergency protocols in 1924, considered by many in the nation to have been heavy-handed response to Melbourne Commune. We have another pop-up event. Interesting. Financial troubles in the colonies. Some maverick politicians propose distributing more resources to the colonies to determine the German national, which would obviously not be popular. So dedicate as many resources. Only cover the most critical expenditures. Try our best. We can't help them in dire times. I guess we should help them out a little bit. We shouldn't give them everything, but help them out a little bit. It says only our most critical, or dedicate as many resources to the colonies. What does this one say? Gain status 5. We'll go all the way. There's more and more events. No more is the death of His Holiness Pope Pius the 11th. How terrible. What is it? The 1936 Trade Union Congress in the Union of Britain was made to be decisive. Longtime chairman of the TCU, Philip Snowden, declared his resignation, causing 4 major factions of the Union, Maximus, Autonomous, Federations, and Congregationalists, to butt heads over the position. Alright, so something's going on in the Isles. Gallego seizes control of Ecuador. I mean, world tension's at 7%, so it's not nearly as bad. Although I feel like it's gonna get to the point where it's another world war again. Agricultural crisis in Middle Europa during this time. Oh man, the colonies are just getting it, the worst of it. It was financial, and now it's agricultural. So we have 2 choices. We must protect our peasants. We shall not risk it in our Middle European ties. We shall not risk our middle. Okay, we'll go with that. A modern art of war. Okay, now that I'm done with that focus, I'm just gonna end the video here, and I want to say thank you for watching, and comment, like, subscribe if you're interested in this and you want to see more. I will possibly go back to Iron Curtain. I know I do want to do a China playthrough with that, so for those who enjoyed the last series, don't worry, I will go back to that mod eventually. I just wanted to play. There's so many mods for this game, and I wanted to play them, at least like 2 of them, and then play just plain old parts of Iron 4. So we'll just go from there. But anyways, thank you very much. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. See ya.